All right, so it's time for another exercise. And as you can see here, we're going to build a simple minimalist blog site. And this exercise is really going to focus on pretty much everything we've covered, but it's really going to hit on a lot of the box model things. So padding and margin and borders, as well as typography, getting a new Google font, and a few other things. So we're going to build this. I'm going to give you a few instructions if you do want to attempt it on your own first. And then we're going to go over it, as always, starting from scratch in the next video. So I'll give you some hints. The first thing you'll probably notice is this gray box. And that's actually a border that's around the body. So the body has this 20 pixel border that goes all the way around it. And so that means that the body has an explicit width, that it's not going all the way across the screen, but it goes from here to there. So another thing that I'll mention here are some of the colors. So you don't have to guess the colors. It would be a good exercise for you to actually use a color picker and try and find these out on your own. But because I'm not sure how the quality will be carried over through video and if that will change some things, I'm just going to give you the colors. So I have them typed up here. You can refer back to these, or you can feel free to use your own colors. But the border color around the body here is this shade of gray. The date color, this blue, is this shade of blue here. And then the heading color for the blog titles is this shade of bluish gray. And then one other thing is that you'll need to have a font included here. And this font, I definitely would not expect you just to guess off the top of your head. It's called Source Sans Pro, and it's available on Google Fonts. So you'll have to go on Google Fonts, download it, and include it. Well, you don't have to download it, but include it correctly in your HTML or your CSS file. So a few other things. This block quote right here, this effect is just a left border that's been turned on. So it's the same gray color as we have here, it's just thinner. So that's a left border. One thing you'll need to pay attention to is making sure these are all aligned exactly the same. Notice there's a little margin or padding or something here. The next thing that I'll point out here is that the date is in all caps. So there's a way to do that with your CSS, make it uppercase. And also that there's a little bit of letter spacing here. So this is not the normal letter spacing, they're spaced a little further apart. And then one last thing, in between the posts, there's this line. And this is an HR element, it stands for a horizontal rule. And so you can add an HR in, and as far as styling this, to get this thin line that kind of shrinks down, I found something online, I'm just gonna show it to you in the next video, but just research HR styles, and there are so many great articles and code pens that you can just copy one of. So I don't expect you to get this just right. Other than that, feel free to use any text that you want. I think this is bacon ipsum, but put any text you want. Feel free to have more than 2 posts, and then also go crazy with colors and fonts and make it your own. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. We'll start from scratch.